Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ministry of DevOps.com. I hope everyone is doing well in this new year. Today, we are going to discuss and doing a home lab on very interesting topic on how do we implement guardrails. Specifically, how do we implement PII masking using Light LM AI Gateway by using MS Presidio, right? So let's move forward to start with what are guardrails. So LLM guardrails are no different from cloud guardrails. Those who have worked on cloud or those who are working in on cloud, they must be familiar with the term guardrails. These are the controls that allow developers the flexibility to innovate within the boundaries of a defined security policies by preventing a misconfiguration or the vulnerability before it becomes exploitable. You can say that the guardrails provide the basic baseline security controls measures. They provide controls from an organization perspective because they are having the common standards. And this ultimately helps to enforce security policies at scale because these are the commons across the organization. From an DevOps perspective as well, you can say this implements a shift left approach so that whatever the security mechanism, whatever the organization standards which your organization has set for themselves that can be implemented early in the pipeline while setting up the infrastructure or the landing zone or the bigger infrastructure at scale. And this all should be done as code so that it can be tracked easily. If I give you a couple of examples of guardrails from cloud world, you can say that policy compliances to restrict the resource regions. So whenever a resource is created, that should be by default that should be created in one particular zone or region. There might be some controls, which block the deployment of certain resource types or particularly to restrict certain VM size so as to control the cost. There are other benchmarks as well, right? CIS benchmarks, Center for Internet Security benchmarks for the cloud resources to ensure that they meet the industry standard security and compliance standards as well, right? So AI or LLM guardrails are no different. LLM guardrails is a set of guidelines, same policies or filters as code to prevent large language models LLM from generating harmful or misleading or irrelevant content, right? These guardrails can also be used to safeguard LLM applications from malicious user attempting to misuse the system. If you want to go through what are the top 10 OWASP AI LLM security guardrails for 2025, you can follow this link. I can quickly show you this as well. So if you open this link, you will see these are the top 10 OWASP uh, risk and mitigations for LLM and Gen AI apps. Right. Today, we will be specifically talking on LLM 02, which is sensitive information disclosure and which contains the PII information. Okay, the PII leakage, the personal identifiable information, may be disclosed during interaction with the LLM. So we will see how we can anonymize or mask this PII information. So today we are going to implement PII guarded in our local setup by integrating Microsoft Presidio to our Light LLM AI gateway with local running Ulam. So how does the architecture look like? So in our previous episode, we have seen that uh, we have created a local home network on two laptops on which separate llama models were running. In the current one, what we have done is on one of the laptop, along with the AI gateway, Light LLM gateway, we are also running the Microsoft Presidio tool as well, which helps in detecting the PII data. If we go in a bit deeper, then how what happens is that we have a LLM gateway, uh, the our a Light LLM proxy gateway, which is integrated with the MS Presidio, and we have a LLM model. The user gives the input prompt. The LLM gateway, which is integrated with the Presidio, detect any input, any prompt which contains the PII data, like the name, credit card number, phone number. It masks that information before sending that information to the LLM model. LLM model does the processing, and while curating the response for the user, it masks that information as well. And whatever the logs of the LLM gateway, the same information is masked in that as well, right? So what we will do is we will do a home lab of this whole process as well. So let's move. So before that, let me walk you through the steps as well. So what we will do is we will install MS Presidio Analyzer as Docker on existing setup. We will install MS Presidio Anonymizer as Docker on existing setup. We will configure the LightLM config file, and then we will run the sample calls from VS Code. But before we move, let's quickly take a look on MS Presidio as well. So this is the MS Presidio site. I mean, all the information is available here, how to install and what all it does. In our today's lab, we are using Docker to install the MS Presidio, and we will only be using it for the PII anonymization for text. It can also be used for the images as well, which we will do in our further episodes. So let's start. The first thing we have to do is uh, install uh, Presidio images, which I've already done. So what we have to do is use these two commands to pull the images, and which is already running for me. So you can pretty much run the same commands and it will be up and running for you. The second thing which we have to do is uh, if you go to the Light LLM docs, you can see how do we do the configuration for the PIA masking using Presidio. So in the guardrails section, we can just mention guardrails, Presidio pre-guards, and because it is a pre-call, right? The Presidio is supported for three modes, basically for the pre-call, run before the LLM call or input. It is also supported for the post-call, and it is also supported for the logging only. For now, for today's demo, we are considering the pre-call. So let's see the configuration of the file. So as you can see, the top 12 lines were from the previous episode. What we have done is we have added this section, the guardrail section as well here, right? Uh, what we will do is we will start our proxy. Now our proxy is running, and we have started it in debug mode. And let's open the VS Code. And let's send a request where the content is hello world, my name is Join Doe. Let's send this request. It is processing. And you can see it has masked the person name. Hello person, nice to meet you. How are you today? And even if we see the logs here, we can see it has masked that name as well, right? Similarly, I think there is one more example which we can do. You can see, nice to meet you, person. I don't have a personal information such as phone number, so I can't provide you with yours. It's important to protect your privacy in this. You can see the message, and if you go to the logs as well, it has anonymized that, right? And it has masked that. So you can see the from this example, you can see the power of guardrails. This is not just specific to one feature. There are so many other features as well which can be integrated with guardrails, right? And you can see this guardrail feature is in beta, but there are so many tools which can be integrated for the guardrails. Like guardrails.ai is very famous, one of the famous tools for implementing guardrails in the within the LLM models. And you can write your custom guardrails as well as a code. So, and there are hooks provided to write the custom guardrails as well. You can even mention your own uh, filters as well or encoders as well to ensure that the filtering works as per the prompts which is specific to your organization. So I hope this small demo has helped in the understanding of implementing guardrails using Microsoft Presidio with the LLM models. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thank you.